Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm legendary comedian Jay Eoff, but tonight you can call me Mr. Jokes if you want to. And I've got a question for you. Have you ever wanted to listen to a white man? Boy, I sure hope so. Are you not politically conscious enough to listen to NPR or too afraid of the police to find those white men yourself? In 2025, I can't blame you. That's why this white man has written the show for you. I've put 4 billion jokes into these next 30 to 40 minutes. It's pretty dense, if you can get all of them. 10 of these jokes are original, and 2 of these jokes are even funny. So keep your laugh muscles peeled. Before I continue, I want to set expectations. Will this be the best video you've ever seen? Absolutely, without a doubt. I'll tell you why I'm doing this. See, there comes a time in every white man's life when he believes he is special. He may even develop some sort of complex about it. You might have seen this before. For the average white man, this period lasts 75.3 years. But I'm not just the average white man with some complex. I'm the most talented white man in the world. Yep, this is it. And, well, I feel like I'm finally ready to be famous. The man told me not to put this on YouTube for free because the world would end from laughing too hard. But the man's not going to stop me unless the man has a lot of money. I haven't seen any money yet. So, hey, between you and me, enjoy the show. I was born. Hey, is this relatable yet? I was born in Texas, and well, that's where I get my 2 guns from. My 2 guns, referring to my arms, of course. Just starting this off with the joke. Fun fact, Texas was number 1 on the Forbes list of places exes live, and number 3 on their list of best places to be male, just behind Utah at number 2, Mormons, and doing stand-up comedy at number 1. Except for me, I worked really hard to be here. It is true what they say. Everything is bigger in Texas. You can kind of tell, like, their hearts, you can tell that by how hard they breathe. And their hats, which have to be too inconvenient to be worth wearing, right? And their penises. And that last one you can tell by the extremely massive trucks that they drive. I mean, you wouldn't drive a child obliterating truck with a small penis, right? I moved to Michigan from Texas because I always thought the politics in Texas were a little weird, and I'm a woke left Chinese communist. One of the white ones, yeah. They just give the police too much power over there. They all ride around on Mustangs. On Mustangs, the horses. That one's pretty funny. And they're all corrupt, too. The horses are, I mean, easily bribed with apples. They sent me to the electric chair. I don't want to get into details. Let's just say when they tell you don't mess with Texas, they mean it. I tried to stay in good spirits. I made a pretty good joke about it. Do you want to hear it? Uh, if you don't want to hear it, just pause the video and I'll let you know when the joke is over. Alright, here I go. Did you hear about the first man that died to the electric chair? They asked him to take a seat, and what happened next shocked him. Okay, you can unpause the video. It wasn't the best joke I've ever made, but I saw the opportunity to make one, and I capitalized on it. I seized it, which was similar to what the man in the chair was doing. I got exonerated. Lucky me. Apparently, some evidence came in or something that proved me innocent. But between you and me, let's just say it's a good thing I smuggled in some apples. The format I'm doing this in makes it hard for me to transition between jokes because, well, usually I would have a lot of laughter to carry me from one bit to the next. Like, a lot, believe me. But I don't have that here, and it's kind of hard for me. You need to have the right sort of personality to deal with this kind of thing. So the other day, I went to the doctor to get my personality test taken because that's where you take them. Uh, and the test came back negative. Doctor said I was the only one that's ever happened to. So I came up with my own. It's very simple. You can be a bitch ass, a cocksucker, a shithead, or a motherfucker. The doctor was all for. The test itself is very simple. All you do is go to Boston, and it's whatever you get called. So, for example, I'm a shithead cocksucker because I don't know how subways work, and because I look like I would. I don't have any other transitions between jokes. I've been wearing underwear more recently. It makes me feel wealthy and comfortable. And I also have a penis. And it's normal size. I'm from Texas, whatever. So when I'm shopping for underwear, when I'm briefly briefing briefs, that one's also pretty good. I feel it's unnecessary for me to see men much more handsome than me on the side of the bag of underwear I'm about to buy. Like, oh, that's what I would look like in this underwear if my penis was just a little bit bigger. I think I'll take it. Sometimes the hot male models will have their whole hot bodies on the side of the package, and sometimes it'll just be their package. I'd rather not see any packaging at all. I'd rather just be sent some loose underwear from some mystery man on, say, Facebook Marketplace. And that underwear wouldn't even have to be like soft or clean. I'll wear it. Who cares where those stains are from? As long as there's no packaging on it, I'm good. In all honesty, though, it'd have to be pretty hard to be a male underwear model. You'd have to be like a perfect 10 inches flaccid. And now for a bad joke, or another bad joke if you want to go fuck yourselves. Did you hear about the underwear salesman who loved animals? He himself owned a pair of boxers. My girlfriend doesn't like that joke. She says I'd get the exact same reaction if I just said the word testicles into the mic, but I'd only do that if the set was going like really bad. So for now, that's the end of my underwear material. I don't want to keep going. I'd hate to stretch it out. Oh my gosh. I I completely forgot to ask. Are my fellas here? Where are my fellas? Are my fellas here? Hey, you, are my fellas here? Aha, nice. There you are. You're a camera, but I assume you said something. Uh, fellas, this next one's for you. Fellas, don't you hate when you're driving, when you're on the road, and the car behind you has their lights on really bright? Yeah, me too. It's like, hey, I'm driving here. Are my fellas still with me? My man. Fellas, don't you hate when you're driving and the person behind you is tailgating you? Yeah, me too. It's like, hey, you better be going somewhere pretty important, buddy. That's what it's like. There's this there's this one kind of car that I feel like does this all the time. Ambulances? The other day I was driving and they got right up on me and turned their really bright lights on, and I was like, "Hey, I'm driving here. You better be going somewhere pretty important, buddy." Man, I hate paramedics. Uh, Again, the format I'm doing this in, without an audience, it kind of sounds like I actually hate paramedics. That was pretty cool though, huh? Whew. Sorry, it takes a lot out of me. I'm my friend group's designated white guy, believe it or not. I'm their snow angel. There are other white guys in my friend group, but I do it the most reliably. I went to a ramen restaurant with my girlfriend and my girlfriend's brother because that's what my friend group consists of. The waitress walks to our table. She gives my white girlfriend chopsticks, her white brother chopsticks, and she gives me a fork. Lesser white guys have to ask. It's useful for emergencies because say you get kidnapped and the kidnapper puts a gun up to your head and they demand that you call someone that owns a guitar but doesn't know how to play it, you would be dead without me. Like imagine if you only knew Ecuadorians. Those talented motherfuckers. I guess that's not really a realistic scenario though. If I was a kidnapper, I would want like riches. It's just I don't know. This part of this that's kind of personal cuz I feel like white people are becoming a little bit more obsolete, you know? Like it's not as cool today as it used to be a children's youth pastor. Now it's a little weird. What's the last good thing that white people have even done? New Girl, that's right. And that was like 9 years ago. All the other white guys in the massive group chat we're all in, we call it Reddit. I'll feel the same way. So if you see your white guy a little bit down in the dumps, he'll call it. Just give him one of these. No, not a punch. A fist bump. With the explosion. Sound optional. He'd like that. As a white man, I've been trying to get more attention, as is my people's custom. And I was seeking advice on how to do this. I do this through stand up comedy, and the biggest piece of advice I've gotten was to make more friends. Ah, the problem with that though is I'm just not very likable. You know, I'm one of those exceedingly rare, unlikable white guys you hear horror stories about. It's just, I think it's, I think it's my alpha energy that I have, that, that beta bitches, um, can't handle. No, I'm just kidding. It's my overall demeanor and underwhelming personality that gets people to not like me. You don't know this about me because you're a camera and I'm a me, but usually I talk in a very monotone voice, and to be honest with you, talking all upbeat and lively like I am right now is slowly killing me. But because I talk like that so flatly all the time, people think I'm sort of a bitch. But I'm not, you know, I'm a shithead. Cocksucker moon, bitch ass rising, which is hardly anything. I think I'd have a much easier time making friends if I could just play trombone, you know? Because then I wouldn't have to talk to people. I could just play. Or not. When I was younger, you're not going to believe this. I also had a hard time making friends. And so when I had to talk to someone, I would talk to them in bits. I would practice them ahead of time. So someone would ask me how I was doing, and I would go on a 2 minute rant on how they've raised the prices of McChickens. And well, I guess that's why I'm sort of good at stand up now, is because I was socially inept when I was younger. Isn't that crazy? I'll get to practice my bits ahead of time on Sunday afternoons because that's when my grandma had her friends over from Bridge, and they were all so sweet. They wouldn't care if I messed up in front of them or forgot my lines in front of them because they had dementia. And it's like, well, they forget their lines all the time. Can you believe I'm doing this all in one take? A horse walks into a bar. The bartender is also a horse, so it's cool. No need to comment on either horse's facial structure. The bartender horse notices the main character horse is sad and goes, "Hey," as they do, "why are you sad?" And the main character horse goes, "Bartender." They don't call each other bartender horse and main character horse. I'm being a horse racist. Anyway, the main character horse goes, "Bartender, I just wish I was in a stable relationship. You see, I've been hiding my bad credit from my horse wife for years now, and she just found out. And now I'm in some deep manure." And the bartender horse goes, "You've been hiding this from her for years? Well, why the long facade?" And that's the punchline to that joke. So, what's up with the prices of McChickens? Didn't they used to be like $1? I'm gonna get back to it. I was born colorblind because, as we've discussed, God hates white men. And in that way, I'm kind of a martyr. When you're born with a crippling disability, such as colorblindness, the way you see the world changes. And in my case, literally, which might make colorblindness even worse than every other disability combined. It makes me really sad. So to cope, I have to wear darker, sort of more muted colors. Anything too bright reminds me that I don't have what other people have. Cones in my eyes. Being colorblind's changed the way I've had to navigate my whole world. For example, when they teach you how to drive, they teach you red light means stop, green light means go, but they never once tell you what brown light means. You have to learn on your own. Brown light means crash. A lot of the time, all the lights just confuse me, so society forces me to close my eyes and let fate take me through most intersections. And insurance companies really don't like that. Being colorblind's changed the way I've had to eat certain foods. For example, I can't eat Skittles because I think the gray ones are too sour. Plus, their slogan is "Taste the Rainbow," which feels targeted. And that's why I stick to M&Ms. They all taste the same, like 4 to 8% bugs, whatever the legal limit is. 40 to 80% child slavery, whatever the legal limit is. 100% yummy chocolate though, so I try to separate the art from the artist. Hey, the M in M&M stands for mmm. If you're from Mars watching this, you can use that if you want. The company, not the planet. And also, I'm sorry about the child slavery accusations. I think the very worst part about being colorblind, though, is having actually blind people try to one up you all the time. They always say the dumbest things like, "Hey Jay, technically, we can't see any of the colors." Or, "Hey Jay, stop saying that colorblindness is as bad as being legally blind." Or, "Hey Jay, stop telling people you're the Stevie Wonder of comedy. It's not a good look." And then I say, "How do you know what it looks like?" And they don't like that. There's a support group for people like me, though. I can see the color yellow pretty well. So they pair me up with someone who can see red and someone who can see blue. And that way we can kind of see all the colors together. And that's primarily how it works. The support group is called Spectrum, not to be confused with the internet company or autism. Hey, speaking of autism, the Godzilla movies asked a question, a very particular question that everybody else at the time was too afraid to ask. What if there was a dinosaur? Over $3 billion and almost 40 movies off of that question. Every movie gets funded too because every 1.7 years, some producer has a bad time in Japan and goes, fuck it. I'm bringing him back. And he's going to be big this time. This is going to be the third worst thing that's ever happened to Japan. The producer says that, not me. I'm cool. I've always really understood and respected the Godzilla movies because, well, I'm kind of the same mind. What if there was a dinosaur? The only thing I never got is, well, how'd they find someone big enough to fit in this suit? Every movie asks its own sort of sub question where Godzilla finds something that's proportional to him in size. And I like that consistency throughout the movies. Like, one movie asks, what if there was a moth? But it was a big moth. Like, bigger than what you're even thinking right now, probably. Godzilla would fight that. What if there was Japan? Godzilla would fight that. And the most recent one that came out was kind of weird. It was, what if Godzilla wanted to confront his unresolved emotions, which were also pretty big? Godzilla and his support system would fight that. That last one didn't do too well at the box office, but I appreciated the artists pushing a subject to its limit. And plus, it gave me a good impression. Do you want to see it? If not, again, just pause the video and I'll circle back to you. Okay. This one is Godzilla at therapy. Godzilla just want to be valued. How was that? Did that read? You can unpause the video now. Sorry. I led you to believe that that last movie, Godzilla going to therapy, happened, but it did not. I used a comedic technique called lying to make you see what I wanted you to see. It was manipulative and wrong, and it felt bad. We haven't known each other very long, but I feel like we've built up a trust between one another, and I feel like I've broken it, and I'm sorry. I was thinking though, while we're here, like, if Godzilla did go to therapy, he would like eat his therapist, because he's so big. But I get that that could be kind of dark for some audiences. My mind can get pretty twisted. Again, though, I'm so incredibly sorry for what happened. I've also never seen a Godzilla movie. And for my next trick, I'd like to try something more pretentious. Have you ever seen those neoclassicism paintings? You animals? The ones that aren't supposed to look like any particular thing, but when you really focus on them, always turn out to be the concept of never being enough. The artist paints half of a painting and expects the audience to complete it according to their own psyches. In the same way, tonight I've done something truly spectacular. I've written half of a joke, and I'm humbly asking you, the audience, to complete it according to your own psyches. This will be a reflection upon your own soul. We close our eyes. An office supervisor walks into her workspace, ready to close for the night. Before she leaves, she sees one of her employees still hard at work, burning the midnight oil, as it were. A monkey wearing a suit. Before she exits the scene, she calls out to him, "Hey, you!" No monkey business. Okay. And the monkey is left to his own devices. The joke begins. If it helps you at all, my monkey is working at a banana factory. Remember, a failure to laugh at this is a failure of your own imagination. I can't hold your hand through all of them. Oh, monkey. And done. And, well, I think that's the best joke I've ever written. Heck, catch me writing a better joke than that and call the monkey in your joke my nephew. That that last tag at the end there, that's just like a bonus joke. You can have that one for free. Well, I guess all of these jokes have been for free so far. The rest of them, though, I did get a sponsor for, so that's exciting. Intuit TurboTax, powering prosperity around the world. So, prepare for some higher quality material from here on out. My cat died recently. Recent enough that you can empathize with me, but not so recently that this part of the set isn't funny. Her name was Majowa, and that's what this whole video is dedicated to. I was pretty torn up about it. I cried, whatever. What's it to you? While I was so sad, I wrote a bunch of jokes because I thought, you know, it would go great in a stand up set? Grief. And here they are. It turns out they have just the one life. That was disappointing. Her favorite thing in the whole world to do was nothing. And now that she's gone, I guess she's living the dream. Well, not living, but, you know. We gave her catnip once. She already wasn't a very smart cat. We took her to the doctor to get an IQ test done, because that's where you go to take them. And she scored a -3 on it, and that was her nickname for a while. Now that she's dead, I guess she's technically smarter with an IQ of 0. When we gave her catnip, she became a lot more curious. That's not what killed her. Uh, Cancer. She would sit and watch the washing machine go for hours and hours and hours. And our washing machine wasn't see through, so we don't know why she did that. She became kind of an addict about it. I always imagined I'd come home one day and find her dead in a little kitty sized bathtub with a little kitty sized ketamine syringe in her little paw. But no, it was cancer. Hey, you know what else is a cancer? Improperly filed tax returns. Tax season is just around the corner, just 5 short months away, and it's never too late to get started. File for free with Intuit TurboTax. Intuit TurboTax. Don't lie too much now. I should say I'm not actually sponsored by them. Um, like legally, I feel like I should say that. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the man hasn't given me any money. And I do see the irony in lying to you about being sponsored by Intuit TurboTax, but just then I used a comedic technique called apathy, which will help me get over it. Hey, audience, what's your least favorite pizza topping? Oh, yeah, I always thought there was something fishy about those. That's assuming you said anchovies. My least favorite pizza topping is poison. I'm immensely afraid of dying. The thought of it keeps me up at night. I can't go to sleep. I know what that's practice for. Hey, do you remember that Godzilla impression I did earlier? That was pretty good, huh? I have another one. It's me dead. Except if I was actually dead, my eyes would be closed and I would have less skin. Was that boring for you to watch? Because it was boring for me to do, and I'm gonna have to do it until the end of time. The whole thing is just, it's so cliche, right? When people find out about my death, they're gonna be like, oh, Jay died? How original. I'd like to think I'm better than that. It's just anyone who's ever lived has done it. The only good thing about dying is potentially seeing my cat again. Potentially, maybe I'm one of the burners. I know when a lot of people think about dead loved ones, they think about people they've lost. And I understand that too, because sometimes you just need a person to help fix everything. That's why H&R Block's got your back with its live 24-hour human support. Can you believe I got both of them to sponsor me? Again, I didn't get either of them to sponsor me. H&R Block, keep taxes complicated. Please do not sue me. You know how much money I have. My solution to it all, and I'm just a humble guy, is hopefully to be remembered until the end of time. And I think this video is pretty good. I think it's got a good shot of me getting there. If not, though, that's okay. I guess it'll have to be okay, huh? Just as long as they don't send me in one of those ambulances. Oh my gosh. Would you look at the time? I'm going to be late for the next very important comedy show I have. I gotta wrap this up. Hey, how come intro is short for introduction, but outro isn't short for outroduction? Just one more joke while we're nearing the end. Well, gamers, we've lived, laughed, hopefully, and loved these last approximately 35 minutes. And, well, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you've grown to be more parasocial with me. I've been Jay Eoff. I'll continue to be Jay Eoff off stage as well. Lucky me. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for when the next video comes out about 2 years from now. If you loved my content, be sure to share this with your friends and laugh with me. And if you hated my content, be sure to share this with your friends and laugh at me. Follow me on Instagram at Jay Eoff. Remember to tip your waitress, and hey, while you're at it all, please remember me. Testicles.